Peace, YouTube. This is Fleurbrun coming you to. I got it all wrong. Peace, Fleurbrun. I said, please. You could tell when I'm fasting. Peace, YouTube. This is Fleurbrun coming to you today with with the first day kicking off my PrePoleShift MerMaid Aqua fast. So check on in now. For some of you, you're not used to me being on this channel, and for those who are new to my channel, I'm starting a first day, a first day Aqua Aquarian fast. For many of you who know me from my other channel, Fleurbrun channel. Hey, y'all came on over for the other channel. Welcome, welcome. It's like a new house, right? It's like I'm welcoming you in a new house. Some of you have been in this house before this channel, but this is our backup channel. This is a channel that I'll be kicking off the fast, one of 100-day Aqua fast, and it should be very, very interesting. So check on in, and we're gonna actually talk about the fast, the initiation of why I'm initiating a fast at this particular time, and some of the things I'll be utilizing during this particular fast. If you're newer to the channel, I will say to you that this is I've been on a journey of fasting for about 5 to 6 years. I think 5 to 6 years. I fast every year, pretty consistently. I do various things when I fast. I think when I first began my fast, I started off with a um, a more of a a juicing fast. And as I progressed, I would go further into a green fast, more of a detox fast, and it's progressed over the years. The first exclusive water fast I began was last year, roughly, I think in March, when I did a 30-day water fast, and it literally transformed everything and every part of me. And I found that during a water fast, there was a level of clarity that comes from the clearance and the purging that I hadn't ever experienced previous in the previous fasts, which were more juicing fasts. And I won't declare this as the best fast or a better fast. I'm saying for me, hold hold on, family. I think this might be craziness. As soon as I'm on here, it's like, what? I think this might be the census. Hold on. It'll be interesting. If you're coming on here, just chill out for a minute. I'm waiting. I think someone behind, because the census has been like the Nazi. They're like the neo-Nazis. It's like the Third Reich ever since, because the election is coming up. So it's crazy. Wait, he's coming. Shh. I'm gonna say something. Hold on. And I got my crystal, I got my crystal bottle again. I only use this bottle during my fast, It's crazy. I won't use it otherwise. So I just have just clear water with a little sea salt in this one. I know I do like the ghetto thing. I always smell my water. Look at this dude. Look at me. He looks crazy. Let's see how we handle the fast. This is the fast handling of the census. Listen, somebody's messing up my live already. What they got? What they got? A defragger? The census has a defragger. Hold on. I got the security cameras on too. This will be very interesting. Oh, your boyfriend gave him? Get a train. Listen, everybody should be trained to give. Listen, ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies. Listen, during this time, it's none of their business, and they're not supposed to come in our neighborhood and solicit. That's number one. They aren't supposed to do that. We live in a non-soliciting neighborhood, but they still get in here. They got the code to get here. So let's see what they're gonna say. But let me talk about my fast while they're doing it, because he's taking too long. I don't know what he's doing. It's looking all sketchy. I gotta make sure he isn't a maturing candidate, because you know they start popping off. I gotta duck. So if he starts popping off, it's the first day of the fast. You never know what happens during the fast when you purge. It's like the internal becoming external. So maybe he's an aspect of my inner shadow with coffee. So he's a representation of the coffee that I'm purging. So it's trying to come to my door. You know what I mean? It's like a representation of coffee. You never know. During a fast, everything happens. When you're fasting, the things inside of you or that are latent or sometimes unrealizing, they do come. Hold on. Oh, he's not coming to my house. Hold on. Ooh, it is. He's got a big census thing on his a bag, a census bag. Oh, he's going to my neighbors. He's going to my neighbors that are really paranoid. Oh, he's going to my paranoid neighbors. I wish I could show you right now. Oh, nothing. This is my patch. I'm going to show you about my my fasting and how I'm using patches this time. So hold on, family. I know for those checking in, I'm very, I'm a bit of a interesting character. If you look, look, he's next door. I want to see what my neighbors do. They always pop off. They might come with like a bow and arrow. They be doing some wild things next door. I told you my neighbors are like, you thought I was a prepper. Oh, they take prepping to the 20th power. Hold on, let me see. I'm being nosy. He's knocking. They got security cameras all over their house. They're probably looking at him crazy. Let's see if they answer. They may not even answer. Anyway, let me talk. I don't want to do this because y'all. Can you guys see me? Okay. Okay, so anyway, let me go into the fast. So I'm sorry. It's like my first video. I wish I didn't do this. Anyway, so kicking out the fast. So this is a 100-day fast. Now, mind you, family, when I say 100 days, this is a projected 100-day. This is a projected 100-day fast, water fast. Now, the difference between this and the other fast, it's going to be very different from how my last water fast was. My last water fast, many of you knew, I did infused. In the morning, I always do my infused cinnamon stick water fast. Cinnamon stick infused water. I always do it the night before. It's really yummy. If you ever do a fast, it's like the most delicious thing you could possibly do. So I do, I infuse my cinnamon sticks. I get about 3. I put them in about 24 ounces of water. I like to put that one in the fridge. I leave it overnight. It tastes like God in the morning. When you're fasting, there's every texture, every taste, like even cinnamon, the taste of cinnamon, it literally is like, it tastes like everything's so enhanced. So I usually did that with the last fast, and then I would add sea salt, which are volcanic sea salt to my water, like a black salt to my water during the day. I'm not a fanatic about ounces or amount of water. You drink as needed. You know, if you were someone who lived a very dehydrating type of lifestyle, which wasn't my thing, the only thing I had during my day that was mostly dehydrating was coffee, and I'm a big water drinker anyway. So if you are coming from a lifestyle where you're consuming a lot of dead flesh, you are sometimes maybe you eat a lot of potato chips, you know, a lot of starches, a lot of salt, you know, ionized salt, that most likely will be the case where you will require a lot more water during the beginning stages of your water fast, just because you're trying to wash clear out a lot of that that low field sodium, and also you're replenishing your body with fresh hydrating water that will kind of bring life to your cells. Okay, so if you're coming from more of that, I would say I would do a couple, like maybe 3 liters a day or 4 liters a day. And mind you, It depends on your lifestyle. If you are, you know, someone who has to go to work every day, I don't know that you want to go to the bathroom all the time. So do utilize your common sense when you're fasting. I mean, if you're drinking that much water a day and you're a nurse and you have a couple of different patients you have to see and you have to get them done by a particular time, it may not be practical. It wouldn't be practical for you to drink 3 liters of water, like a lot of water like that, because you would always have to be going back and forth to the water. So for that reason, I say do what is cohesive for you. Do what works well for you. Okay. So let me add a couple things. So this fast is a little different. My other fast, I just did infuse cinnamon, sea salt to the water, and occasionally I would do electrolytes, depending if my body wasn't absorbing sometimes you get to the point where you need more, where the water isn't as hydrating as you would perceive it. And I would add electrolyte whenever needed. Like if I felt like I was really low, and electrolytes is basically adding more salt. Okay, that's why we go into the MerMaid fast. This makes it a little more interesting, and this is the first time I'm infusing a certain amount of additives to this particular water fast. Okay, so let's get into it. For this fast, and for the last fast, you know that after my 30-day water fast, I did go and get a Hamas spa where they, you know, big up to Orlando. Orlando has the best Hamas spa. Some of you actually visited. It's a Turkish spa. When you go into a room and you have copper bowls and clear water, and you rinse yourself off, and they scrub you with Mediterranean sea salt, like they put bubbles on you, showers on you. That was my treat for accomplishing my fast. On my 30 days, I did that. And also I went in to get an IV with a lot of minerals. And, you know, I just wanted to get a cocktail of IVs after my 30-day water fast to kind of kick in a lot of my vitamins. And, oh, he didn't come. He didn't come to my house. The census didn't come to my home. So, you know, and again with the Hamas, they did a 45-minute massage under the shower in the beautiful place with wonderful chakra lights and amazing music and steam. It's hot, hot, hot with copper bowls, and you're pouring it over your naked body. You know, you wear like a little wrap, and then they massage you. And then after that, you go in for another massage, which is like a 60-minute massage. They give you a little tea after that, and they give you another massage, and then you have another full-on massage. But that was wonderful, and I did the infusion of IV, and I was able to get vitamin C. I did a nice little cocktail, a lot of vitamin C, selenium. What else did I add to my cocktail? It was like a wonderful infusion of a lot of great things. I did during the last fast do oh, hold on, I'm getting calls. Hold on. I did do a what is it? What's the thing when you get the I forgot what it's called. You know, they put it up your bum. What is it called again? I forgot. They put it up your bum. I forgot what it was called. Not an enema. Colonics. Colonics. I did a beginning colonics at the beginning of my fast, and I did a colonics at the end. Thank you, my loves. Colonics. It was great. It was the first time I did it. It was one of RC stars on the channel that actually recommended it, and it helps with detox as well. So I did a colonics for the first time. It was great. I didn't think I was crazy because it was kind of weird to have somebody, you know, it's an interesting process, but it was very clear. And it also let me know that I do right by my body, because she said I had the cleanest system she's ever seen. So even at the beginning of my fast, I was so clean that she had never seen anyone's insides that clean before. So it was great to do that. And I did it at the beginning, at the end. But for this fast, let's get into it. So for the 100-day PrePoleShift MerMaid fast, Aqua fast, we're going to talk about the things that I'm adding to this particular fast, because it's all about the now, right? So for this one, I have already detoxed off of coffee. Big up to everyone who's gone through that process. For a fast, what I've learned over the years of fasting is rather than kick off a fast while you are and go through detox at the same time as fasting, I've become a master at detoxing previous to my fast. So if I know I'm going into a fast on a Tuesday, 3 days prior, I started to detox off of my coffee Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay. And why I do that is fasting in itself can be a little bit of a shock to your system, even if you fasted before. And rather than you putting your body through more shock or withdrawal, it's best to withdraw off of anything chemicalization previous. It just brings more ease and peace to your fast. Because fast in itself, you'll go through detox naturally, even without any form of addiction, the first 3 days. And I wanted to make sure I didn't really Starbucks fan right there. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that when I initiated any fast from now on, that that withdrawal wasn't something that I had to go through at the same time of fasting and reset. So if that's any suggestion I can make for anyone, is if you have any addictions to anything, coffee was mine, sugar, if you're a sugar fan, if you're a starchitarian, whatever you do that you know is something that's a regularity in your life that you know you have, or you think that you have an addiction to, I would say pre your fast, you kind of purge, slowly wean yourself off of it previous to it. It makes your fast go much easier, and it allows for the fast to go, for you to go through the process of shifting from outsourcing your calories to go into ketosis a lot easier. So you'll hit ketosis a lot easier also if you do detox previously. Okay, so with this fast, someone asked me about my shoulder, if I got a boo-boo. No, I didn't get a boo-boo. I have decided to infuse my, do a dermal nutrient supplement during my fast. Many of you know from my other channel, I'm big into doing the patches. I learned to do patches from my first, I think this was like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I went to my holistic place and I saw these B12 patches, and I was big into taking B12. Those of you who come from a vegan or vegetarian background, you know that B12 is where we're most likely to be compromised with B12 absorption or getting enough of it. So I was always cognizant that B12 is something that I always had to add to my system. And I remember, I think it was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I went inside my holistic place and they had B12 patches. And I've never seen that before. I didn't even know you could get them. And I put them on and I was like, oh, snap. It actually, I felt it. So I was like, oh, dermally, it makes sense because your body is your biggest organ. Your skin is your biggest organ, and it makes sense that what you put on the surface of your skin can absolutely be absorbed and and utilized as a an additive to your nutrition or to your your vitamins or minerals. So I started using that. So what I would say, so what I'm adding to this fast that is very unique to my other fast is, in order to keep my system up, I decided to add my patches. These are great. You can get them on any Amazon. Some health food stores have them. It's a dermal patch. You put them on. I have one here. This is iron, and I have one here, which is my B12. Okay, so this is what the patches look like. It's kind of clear. Can't really see it. And these are the patches that I use. Okay. I thought it was great that I have a know of this because it'll make fasting even better. You know what I mean? It's very helpful. This is the B12 patch that I'll be utilizing for this fast. Okay. And also because I sometimes during fasting you may be able to sleep, and sometimes at night you can't. Depends on how your system takes in fasting. I'm going to add this evening, which is a calcium, vitamin D3, and magnesium patch in the evenings. Okay, so to this particular fast, I won't be devoid of nutrients as I'm doing dermal nutrient replacement. My nutrients, my vitamins, I will be adding dermally, which is the first time I've done on any fast. And for that reason, I'm excited about that, because I feel like that's some of the reason why sometimes fasting could be a little, can hinder you a little bit, is because unless you have a lot of steerage, steerage, if you have, I eat well, I'm pretty well stocked I'm like my daughter say, I'm fluffy. You know, I'm fluffy. I'm fluffy, mommy. Don't get any fluffy. They like when you're fluffy. I have a little fluff to me, and means that I have a lot of steerage. And because I have steerage and I eat well, I know that when I go through ketosis, that that's the beautiful thing about when you eat well and you're not fasting to necessarily lose weight, but you're fasting to do reset. That once my body goes into ketosis and it's feeding off its own steerage, um, that it will pull positive, really great nutrients that I already have stockpiled in my system. So I'm really grateful for that. Some people go into fasting, and there's nothing wrong with being thinner or slender. Actually, you can benefit from fasting if you're thick or you're thinner. It doesn't matter. But I just think that adding a little dermal supplement, that I've never done it before. I think it will be beneficial. Now, one of the things that you'll know when I do fasting as well is previous to my fast, many of you know I clay. Okay? What do you say claying is? I clay my entire body from the rooter to the tutor. It helps to detox and pull. I utilize a bentonite clay. You can use green clay. You can use Mother Earth clay. It's up to you. Bentonite is very detoxifying, and I use apple cider vinegar as my liquid mixer. Okay, and when I do this, as you see, my hair is clayed. I clayed my hair last night, and I left the clay overnight. It's amazing for a hair rinse and wash. And then I clayed 2 days prior my whole body, face, body, underarms, everything clayed under here. Women, we should be claying and pulling. It's so funny that a lot of these people that came to many native lands would laugh at the native people for having what they considered to be dirt on them, and that soil. But what they didn't realize, not only did the soil protect them from solar radiation, it literally had nutrition in it. So they're getting a lot of magnesium and potassium from that soil on their skin. And also the soil is great for detoxification. And it's amazing that the criticism of those who came who were ignorant to that are the same ones who make spas charging people 400, two to $400 to clay people to this day. Go figure. Okay, so I clay before and I clayed during my fast. So last night you'll see I clayed my hair. What I added to my hair is just cold pressed cold pressed black seed oil. And I added olive oil to my hair mix and a little bit of moringa. So as my my hair is clean and clear, I pulled and I added some wonderful supplements also to my hair to allow for it to stay as nice and rich and beautiful during this process of detox and fasting. Okay, so I'm definitely going to do on this channel. Oh no, actually, that's Patreon. On my Patreon channel, I'm actually going to do show you what I mix for my hair as a wonderful hair growth stimulant. It's a wonderful cocktail. It's wonderful. It's good for the food for your scalp. Okay, so claying, detoxing of coffee, starting to kick off my fast, dermal patches to help assist making sure I have nutritional, some vitamins while I'm going through this fast. So what am I doing different with this fast? This fast, I am adding some wonderful things. Now, I have to give props to our C-Star on Patreon. Patreon, a lot of people who subscribe to Patreon, we do Zooms, long Zooms. Salutes here. We do long Zooms, we speak, and the shares are phenomenal and, unmatched. And one of the C-Stars was talking about plankton. Family, I've never heard of it before. So she said, Mia, big up to Mia, our C-Star Mia. Mia actually talked about, she wasn't ready for the water fast, but she wanted to do plankton fast. And I was like, oh, it could be one and the same. So I wanted to stay within my water perimeters, making sure I kept water. So what I did is I found an amazing tincture with the plankton. So hold on, let me take a sip. Now, I will say this, family. I will say this. I won't lie to you. It is funky. Wait, hold on. Woo! It's got that taste like, woo! I feel very like. I'm feeling very mermaid like. Woo! Woohoo! So this is the plankton that I decided to utilize. It's raw phytoplankton. This is raw phytoplankton, oceans alive. Okay, so I decided to add this. It's a plant-based premium superfood, primary, da 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 da. Okay, so this is my plankton that I'm utilizing. Okay. I won't lie to you. You know, some other channels will be like, "Oh, it's good. Get that aqua, get that aqua." No, I will keep it real with you. I'm a triple Sag. If I need to remind you again, one thing is I will say to you, I won't lie to you. One thing, because it's hard. It's hard. It's not. You know, I'm not saying I'm honest all the time, but I'm just saying it's hard to lie as a Sag. It's one of our it's the hardest quality for us. Even if we try to mislead people, so we're registered all over our face. You know what I mean? When I'm upset with someone, it is so difficult for them not to know. Okay, so this is wonderful. I tried it and it tastes really funky. 17 drops for your daily. It's got 30 per container. It's got 30 servings, and for one serving, it's 17 drops. Okay, so it's funky spunk. Okay, it's like mermaid funky spunk. Okay, so I added it to this water. I will drink it all. As you notice, I love drinking water. The fact that it's taking me a while and I'm babysitting it, it just tells you. So I don't know how I'll feel after drinking. It's my first day of doing it. I can't tell you how it is. You will be able to detail with the days going forward. Okay, that's it. So I added that. One thing with this particular fast that I'm also adding, which I've been doing daily anyway, and you should have this regardless, is your liquid kelp. Okay, I'll actually take my kelp now. Liquid kelp is your iodine. Many of us are lacking in iodine, and you know, big up to our C-Star. We're talking about iodine, ways to get iodine in. You know, the kelp is good. It's strong. This isn't too bad. It tastes like a tea, kind of like a cinnamon mint. Okay, I do this daily even when I'm not fasting. Okay, so okay, it's wonderful. So I do that daily. That will be part of my fast. I am doing now. Seaweed, you know, seaweed does have iodine. Sea moss has iodine. The only issue I have to do is I'm allergic to sulfur. Any O positives here, you know, if you were, again, newer to the channel, you know I speak of blood types and how blood types matter. I have an allergy to sulfur. It's a sensitivity to sulfur. And I make sure with even sea moss, even though I love sea moss because I'm a West Indian woman, in the Caribbean we do sea moss for everything. That's very Caribbean. I think many people from the Caribbean do the Irish sea moss. All the islands, we add that to, you know, our men like to add, you know, add rum to it. So they make sea moss and they'll do rum on it. So it's almost like a creamy drink, and then I'll add a little rum to it. Our pirates, you know, I always call our West Indian men our pirates. They do that, but sea moss is something that we've always implemented into our, you know, our pattern of nutrition, you know, our foods, you know, our drinks. So I love sea moss, but because I have a sensitivity to the sulfur, I can only do it once in a blue. And when I do it, I make sure I neutralize it with some form of charcoal because I have an allergy to the sulfur. Okay, so sea moss has a lot of sulfur in it, and that's just one of my sensitivity. But it's absolutely packed, mineral packed, vitamin packed with everything. Okay, it's got so many trace minerals, it's out of control. So that is what I'm adding as well. So I have the sea kelp, which I do daily. I've done that for the last, I don't know, since I've, maybe the last 2-3 months. And, you know, and for those who are suffering from any form of thyroidism, it's wonderful to definitely add, kelp, bladderwrack, sea moss to your diet, as it's a necessary additive to allow to have a healthier thyroid, because thyroids are usually off a little bit when we're depleted in iodine. And I've talked about the connection to the mer family. People are connected to the aquatic beings who have this hypothyroid syndrome. I personally think that people who have that propensity to have issues with their thyroid most likely are connected to the marine family, and they have some genetic likeness. That's why they require it, and they aren't able to get enough of the iodine that they would normally do if they were swimming in the mermaid world. So this way you can add this to it. That's why I call it the MerMaid water fast. Okay, so it's amazing. Let's see. So okay, so then we have this is my chlorophyll that I will be adding. Now my chlorophyll, I should, if around the highest point of the day when I'm going in to get sun, I will drink my chlorophyll. I normally have never done this kind. They did not have my original type of chlorophyll. I've never tried this one. It will be the first time I tried. I'm sorry your cat passed away. I'm sorry, my love. Rest in power. Rest in power to your kitty. I'm so sorry. Yeah, was it iffy? Okay. You got this one? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. I try it now. The difference when I do the fast is that because this is chlorophyll, I always, and this is just my mental thinking, I drink it before I'm going to lie in the sun. And for those of you who know that I'm a little saucy and I'm going to be appropriate, this isn't anything that is wrong for children to hear, but I personally think what I do is I'll drink this before I go and lie out with my tetas up to the sky. So I've talked about how your nipples are solar panels. I think our areolas and our nipples are solar panels. So I'm going to take that theory on the road, you know what I mean, literally, or to the backyard. So what I'm going to do is I'll drink this before I actually go and lie outside in the sun and do my sunbathing to get all that vitamin D on. And also I'll make sure I go topless to allow for my areoles and my nipples to pull in that prana. So, I won't do too long. I wouldn't say do it more nipple gazing. That's right, y'all called it nipple gazing. Yeah, so I'm going to try this today. I don't think it's noon yet. Around noon or 1 o'clock, I'll go out, lie outside, allow for my solar panels, my nipple solar panels to pull in right after I drink this. So as a plant, I take in that I will go through like a process of photosynthesis as well, taking in nutrients from the sun and eating that prana. Okay, so only thing we have to be careful about the prana is, the sun. How real is that sun? The sun is the sun, to my knowledge, could be the sun is like a sun simulator. So I always say, I don't know what's in the sky because it's not the same sun that we used to be exposed to. Because as a child, I remember the sun looking a lot differently, and the sun is not the same. It doesn't have the same effects. It doesn't even make you as happy as it used to. Like, I remember having the sun on you, and it can be very orgasmic. And, I love that, even though I don't agree with this man, and I think he was, he did some other things that were off. One of the people who talked about this was Dr. Malachi Z. York, talking about that brown people should have sex in the daytime. That we were meant to have sex in the daytime, and we create the most masterful children when we're having sex in the sun. So that's the whole concept of, having sex in the morning. Men are most allured in the morning, and there's a reason for that. That's almost like an initiator to why we're supposed to mate in the morning. And also babies that are conceived in the daylight have a different perspective, a different consciousness, and a different layering of awareness than those that are absorbed at night. So I personally know that if you're to have any sexual relations, it's always beautiful to have it underneath the sun, and have forms of physical, because we're not, it depends on who you are. That's what it says solar beings, which are melanites, people who have more melanin, are solar beings. They stay up at night. people who have lighter skins tend to be a little more nocturnal, and it's okay for them to have sex at night. So those who are more solar based, it's better for us to engage in a physical under the sun and in the daytime. And for those who are a little more fair, you're more, you know, like nightshades. It's okay for you to have sex. Now, I'm not telling you not to have sex at night. I'm just saying that a benefit to, especially if you want children, the benefit of having engaging as someone with a heightened amount of melanin is engaging in the daytime under the sun. Okay, so that's my understanding, and I vetted that out so far, because at first I heard, I was like, really, does it matter when you have sex? But you do feel good. And I also know when we had the original sun, I don't know if many of you, I remember being in the sun, and it would be very orgasmic. So I remember looking into the sun and having feelings of like, almost like, it was orgasmic to a certain degree. And I can't explain it. It's not an orgasm, but it's orgasmic. I remember I'd look at the sun and I remember feeling it causing like a pulsation in my yoni, like a warmness. And I personally think that was the sun that was more real, because it affected our bodies. And I know a lot of people don't want this conversation, but yeah, it was more pleasurable. Thank you, Catherine. It was more pleasurable to be underneath it. It initiated forms of happiness. It just was beautiful. So I personally think that there was something to the sun back then. Now when I lie in the sun, I don't get necessarily that same feeling. It's not that same euphoric feeling. So that's why I'm saying the sun, though it's there, I personally think it's a sun simulator of some sort. We have energies coming in with the other planets, which are the second and third sun, which I think, because remember, we came from a binary system previous to the pole shift. So I think when that comes closer, which it is, we feel more connected to those celestial fixtures as opposed to what we have now. Okay, so I know when I talk this way, people, and you know, these are adult conversations, and I think a lot of times people, you have to be ready for real conversations, because I don't really hold my tongue. I don't think I should have to when adults are in the room. You know, talking about sex, when people get so concerned or triggered, or you know, or sexually allured by talking about sex, it means you're imbalanced. Having a conversation about sex shouldn't make you feel horny. That means you're imbalanced. Something's wrong. You know what I mean? You should be able to have a conversation without it physically provoking you to, you know, be triggered to feel that way. Okay? This tastes funky. I don't know, this plankton thing, oof, I don't know if I want to do it daily, because this, oof, you know what I'm saying? So this is the first day of my 100-day fast, and what I will say with this is that I won't, with anyone who's deciding to fast, do the fast as long as you feel it's beneficial. If I say it's 100 days, that's why I tell you all the time, I'm projecting to do 100 days, but if I make it to 30 days, if I make it to 40 days, I make it to 60 or 70 days, and that's when I feel like I've accomplished what I wanted and I feel done, I will stop. Okay, so do it to the degree that you feel it services you. Don't feel bent or dedicated to a fast beyond its necessity. Okay, because again, it's for you. It's a form of self-love, and if it doesn't feel like it's loving you anymore, then it's time to just move forward. You know what I mean? So just make sure that you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the honoring of yourself. You're doing it for the reset. You're doing it for the clarity. You're doing it for the heightened amount of benefits. And I wanted to say to anyone who was on here, let me share the story again. For the last fast, many of you know my girlfriend joined for the last fast, which was the 30-day water fast. My girlfriend made it to 21 days. She went into it because I said to her, I heard that if you fasted, it can shrink your fibroids. So her incentive for joining the fast was to clear and maybe get rid of her fibroids. She made it to 21 days, the last fast. She had 2 fibroids. We made sure she actually had her sonogram previous to the fast, so to confirm she had 2. They were smaller fibroids, but no less they were fibroids, okay? When they went in, we made sure, because we told the doctor what we're doing, and normally they don't allow you to do sonograms that close, because it's all about the medical and what your medical will charge for. You know what I'm saying? It's all insurance, but he allowed for her to do it again. On the second sonogram that she got, 21 days after she had done her fast, one of the fibroids was completely gone. The other one was shrunk almost to the point where it was almost dissipated. Let's fast forward. She just did a fast not too long ago again on her own. Big up to my C-Star. She's amazing. She did a fast on her own. Her last fast, I think it was like 22 days. I think she went past her. I think it was 22 days. She has 0 fibroids. The last fast got rid of the last fibroid. She has literally alchemically changed her body and healed her body. She has listen to me, family. I couldn't even make this up. She has 0 fibroids. She cleared and cleansed herself from fasting. She healed her body. Now, is that for everybody? No. Will that happen in that way? Maybe not. But she was determined. That was her goal. And the things that she was telling and even the mantras she would say to herself were all about self-love. She was able to transmute, heal, and disperse of things that weren't in her highest and greatest good. So these are some of the benefits of fasting. Okay, I'm so grateful for her. I'm so happy for her. I'm so proud of her. She is absolutely an amazing being, and I recognize that. So for those who are fasting, that is one of the benefits. Now I tried to go to this park that I really like. It's around the corner. And they, yeah, fasting helps you get preggo. You want to get pregnant? Fast. Fast and add nutrients to you. It's a wonderful thing, fasting. And also, if you're trying to get pregnant, also do steaming at the same time. Do yoni steaming. Do your herbal yoni steaming as well. Okay, that helps. Stop wearing panties. Again, if you are on my channel, one of the things that I always encourage for a woman to be is her natural self. I come onto you a lot of times, especially when I first came on YouTube, it was a lot of criticism. I had bags underneath my eyes, I don't come with makeup. There was a lot of, I'm chunkier, there's a lot of criticisms of a natural woman. You know what I mean? I'm a woman of a certain age. I've had children. This is how I look. The artificial projections out here are out of control. A lot of the times you're seeing all these makeup tutorials, these people who are getting breast implants, they're getting all kinds of surgeries, Botox. That isn't me. So when I say to you that I think you are amazing, just who you were made to be, who you naturally were, it's because I really feel that way. And I feel that way because that's how I feel about myself. I can only speak from my perspective and how I feel about myself. So when I feel that way about myself, I also feel that way about others outside of myself who are in the same alignment of that. Because when I see my C-Stars, and some of you all come on IG, like head wraps and lying in bed with no makeup, you are so amazing and beautiful. You're beautiful. The sun touching your skin without piles of, all these compounds. What is it called? Compounds or whatever you're in your face. Like even I got this from using like this thing to suck out. I try to suck out a blackhead. I still have the scar. I'm okay to have it there. You know what I mean? And to be honest, family, when you eat well and you truly are, your inner world is really calm and non-chaotic and peaceful, it will be displayed on your physical avatar. every single time. You know, people always ask me about my skin. It's like, why do your skin look like that? Because I don't put anything on it. You know what I mean? If I'm putting stuff on it, you know, I do, you know, like if I put things on, it's like clay, it's from nature. I put clay on my face. I put things, you know, I put everything from nature on my body. So it's always going to be clear because I'm not piling stuff on it. And I'm not disrespecting any of our sea stars who wear makeup, because a lot of times the environment we live in promotes um, such an artificial, you know, genres, like just to being AI, like looking like something artificial, that a lot of our sea stars get caught in in that in that projection, and it's unnecessary. When you are just who you are, anything that comes around you will love you for who you are. You know what I mean? I always love this. I always say, you know, with my mate, you know, I I love when he used to say, and I kind of got it after a while. He was like, I love waking up to this. I love going to sleep with the same woman I wake up with. And I never understood it for a while. I was like, you know, he used to say, and I would be like, what are you talking about? He's like, but he explained it. He said, because a lot of times women will cloak themselves with all this makeup or hair or whatever, falsatos, and then you go to sleep with one woman and then you wake up with another. I was like, ah, that's what you mean. And I didn't realize that's an issue for some of the men. So I say this to you, sea stars, is that if we want to attract better, more authentic men, we in ourselves have to be more authentic. Men can only accept what we allow them to accept. You know what I mean? If we love ourselves and we're just as is, unfiltered, you know, non-cloaked, transparent, you know, they will literally, the man that is attracted to you will be in that alignment of authenticity. You know what I mean? If a man only likes you when you're dressed up and dolled up with makeup and heels, and he only likes you when you look like, you know, like a character off of like some sort of, you know, transsexual, you know, magazine, that's who he's going to always, he isn't going to really accept. He may accept aspects of you, maybe it's not always the case, but it's going to be harder for him to accept that more natural being if that's his attraction, is for that kind of character. Okay, so just do you. I'm not saying once in a while, you know, you come on with red lipstick, it's once in a while, but make sure it isn't a pattern of behavior that you're driven by. You know what I mean? Make sure it isn't something that that is part of your routine because you feel like you have to. Because coming out as yourself, you feel like you wouldn't be accepted. That's not true. Every one of you is beautiful. And nobody wants knockoffs and clones. You know what I mean? Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, they hate each other, but they look like clones. They do the same makeup tutorials. They have the same hairdos. They look the same. They got the same artificial parts, butts, fake butts, and all that kind of craziness. They look the same. They hate each other, but they look the same. They're clones of each other. What's wrong with being unique? What's wrong with some of you being chocolate, beautiful chocolate skin with beautiful coils up to the sky? What's wrong with you being, some of you, very fair skin, very light, with blue eyes, with straight hair down to the soil? What's wrong with that? What does that make you? Why does that make you less to be who you are? It actually makes you more. And during the pole shift, all these melting bottles, what's gonna happen to them? What's gonna happen to all these melting models that are melting into themselves? Post pole shift, you know, all those fake eyelashes and all that, what else did they get? I don't know what they do. All that contour they put on their face, what's gonna happen to them? They're gonna feel, they may not even want to be here. So just, you know, if anything with a fast, it's not a criticism, it's just it's an observation. Anything with a fast, it'll teach you more about being more authentic within yourself. Now, is there a perk of fasting for your beauty? Absolutely. Fasting, it just clears you, so all those parasites, all of that, you know, blemishes and all that stuff, that kind of goes away, because a lot of reason why we have blemishes and stuff is because we have parasites, all right, or built up of funguses or mildew in our system. So once you fast, you kind of, you know, you aren't breeding You're not a breeding ground for parasites, so you start looking better. Okay, and your tummy goes down. One thing is if anybody's a faster, your tummy starts to go down. You know, it gets flat. Most fasters, that's the first thing we all notice. It's like if you ever wanted to have a flat tummy, because it's all that yeast and stuff in your tummy, a lot of times you think it's fat. A lot of it's not fat. A lot of it's just bloating or inflammation. A lot of us are suffering from inflammation, to keep it real. Okay, so that inflammation makes you bloated, and then as soon as you take out all the things that are creating the inflammation, everything goes down. Like, you know, you were supersized and bloated, and then all of a sudden, like, you start peeing. Like, usually on your first 3 days of fast, you just pee. You go into the bathroom like back to back to back to back to back, like you're peeing, you're like, wait, I didn't drink that much water, why am I peeing? It's because that's the detox, and that's all the water weight you've gained from inflammation. And then you start peeing it out. It's like, oh snap. And you say it's the fast that made you lose the weight. Nah, it's the inflammation depreciation. It's detoxing. That's all it is. You snap right back in. I know some nieces that are they're good size, you know, perfect size, but they got a little tummy. They fast. That sucker gets flat in like 3 days. It's inflammation. Bloating. You know what I mean? So, yeah, bloating, okay, yeah. Fasting is okay. Now, for those nursing, excuse me, it's that plankton, boy. That plankton, woo! Still in my mouth. Sorry, I'm just clearing my throat. I can still taste it. I don't know if I'll be doing the plankton the whole fast. I'm not feeling the plankton. It might make me feel good, but my God, I feel in my throat. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, for nursers. This is what I got from a naturopath. Excuse me. It isn't the Wuhan shuffle. It's a little bit that funky spunk in my throat. If you are nursing, you can fast. It's safe to fast if you didn't have a toxic lifestyle previous to the fast. Okay? This is from a practitioner. Now, I'm not a doctor. Let me state this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a practitioner. I'm not a referee. This is just my opinion and some advice I got from another, from a naturopathic specialist, herbalist. And she said, you can fast and you nurse, but you had to have been healthy previous to it. So most people who are pregnant eat very well and pretty much more balanced, okay? A little more balanced. So because of that, why most people would deter people who are pregnant, who are breastfeeding, fasting is because of all the toxins that can go into leach into the breast milk. Most women during their pregnancy eat well and are healthy. That being said, when they're fasting, there isn't that much detoxification coming from, you know, them releasing. So there's, you know, that toxicity going into the milk. Okay. So usually what they say is to the level of health that you were previous to pregnancy and during the pregnancy, if you were pretty healthy and well robust, and you're not a coffee drinker, smoker, taking medications, if you're fasting as a mother or as a nursing mother, you can do it, but you can't do it long term, and it has to be very short lived. So you can do it, and if you do it long term, you have to add nutrients to your fast. Okay, this is from them, because they've, you know, and this is a practitioner who deals with people from India, from parts of Northeast Asia, who has dealt with some celebrities, and I've known people who fasted with their advice. So if you are a nursing mother, please just, again, I'm not telling you to do it or not. I'm just saying you can, but you have to know who you are previous to a fast. Okay? And you can pay attention to your baby. Okay? So if the baby is getting colicky, When you're fasting, stop. Okay? If the baby is coughing when you're fasting, stop. If the baby is benefiting and your milk supply is healthy and the baby's loving the milk and you see the baby's health increasing, then you continue. Okay? Just follow, yeah, the babies definitely come first. Just follow the lead. You know, you'll know within the first day because, you know, I know when I drink, especially when I'm breastfeeding, I know when I would have something that was really spicy, it would leach into my milk, and then, you know, the baby would have a little bit of like, she would, her mouth would just be like, you know, it's a little spicy. You know, it filters out the milk a little bit, but the babies taste it. Like mothers who have garlic, a lot of garlic, you can smell it in the breast milk. You know what I mean? It's interesting because you don't realize we are creators of our own food for our babies. And we basically, by whatever we put in, we're basically giving all the ingredients to make that milk. You know what I mean? And it goes right into the milk. So, you know, that's why mothers are not supposed to drink when you're not supposed to have wine and spirits when you are breastfeeding because it isn't healthy for the babies, okay? Because that leaches into the milk. And, you know, I've known mothers who do the testing for alcohol. You know, those are the mothers I know. Big up to the other mommies. I'm not a drinker. So, but I've had girlfriends who have the milk tester to test and see if they have alcohol in their milk so they know they should express the milk or they can feed the baby the milk. But you know what's crazy about that? There was another YouTuber who went ham online saying, oh, it's disgusting. I said, why is it disgusting? I would prefer a woman that actually tests her milk and cares if there's stuff in the milk than those mothers who don't even do that. They'll drink and just feed the baby and nurse that same night. So why are you upset at women? Or why are you upset at a test that will test women? I think that's more responsible. To me, I think it's more responsible. There's women who drink wine and spirits. Why shouldn't they test it? I think it's more responsible that you're testing than not. So if they make the test, I think that's a good thing. So there it means that a mother does not want to hurt her baby. Okay? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Some people are so vehement, but they don't have any children. You know what I mean? A lot of people who have all this rah rah for things like that, they don't even have children. They probably never even nursed a day in their life. You know what I mean? How are you going to talk about something and not? I take the best advice you get is from people who've been there and done that, you know, and wrote the book. You know, it's like going to a hairdresser who has messy hair, who has never done hair in her life, and you're the first customer. You know, you should only get advice from those who have mastered what they've done or been a party to what they're advising. You know what I mean? If you're having advice, if you're getting sex tips from someone who's abstaining from sex, you've already lost that battle. You can't get sexual tips from somebody who's not even engaged in sex, who hasn't had sex for like 20 years. You know what I mean? So you shouldn't go to a virgin or somebody who's abstaining or who's abstinent for over a year to get sexual advice. Now, as far as health of the yoni, yeah, by all means, yeah. Yoni health and stuff like that, yeah, maybe they can advise you on that. But if they're not even engaged in healthy relationships or sex themselves, they aren't they shouldn't be, they aren't in that alignment to give you advice on that. Only advise that which you've mastered or you've become efficient in yourself. Okay? Whenever I advise you, it's usually because I've done it. So I wouldn't advise you on fasting had I not fast over 5 years. 5 years I fast. And people always ask, how come you're so thick, you know, for if you're a faster? Part of the reason is fasting can make you bulk. It does make you bulk sometimes. So what happens with me is because, you know, especially water fast, after a fast I may bulk afterwards, and I tend to bulk, hold on weight because your body thinks that you've gone through some sort of like trauma and it will hold on to weight more. So I will say this, if you're fasting, do know that that does come with it. So if you notice over the last couple of years I get a little thicker, it's because I fast. But I'm okay with it because, you know, as long as I'm healthy, you know, like I said, I have, you have that cough cosmic? I don't know, it came out of the blue. I thought it was a plankton. It might be something else. But do know that, you know, I have zero, gratefully, I am healthy. I have zero diabetes, gratefully. I gratefully have zero high blood pressure. You know, when I go to hospitals, especially workup after I've given birth to a child, and they do blood work with me, they are in absolute awe. And they are in awe of my system because I eat well. I eat well and I'm healthy, gratefully. And I say gratefully because I take honor that I do that. So my physical form, you know, some people will be like, oh, she's obese. I'm thick. Obese, nah. But I'm thick. And when I get too thick, I kind of lean off the food. But I don't eat a lot to maintain this form. I fast a lot. So I think it's good. So I'm grateful everybody came over here to join me. You notice how more peaceful it is over here? You get a cough after Reiki, it might be something to do with the energies. So if you notice, it's a lot calmer over on this channel, right? Because we don't have the yucky duckies that are from the other channel. You know what I mean? The infiltrators. It's like the Wild Wild West. So I'll be doing my fast here. And sometimes I may do daily and sometimes I may do weekly. It just depends. You know, each day is another, like even now in my mindset, because I'm fasting, I had a routine of getting coffee every morning. Many of you know that. So if people ask me what's your challenge, because I socialized myself with my coffee. So if anything with me, the biggest challenge with me with fasting is the rising in the day, like the rising, and at night when I used to like to snack. So my biggest challenge will be in the rising, and then also the times that I snack late. Like I like to snack, especially when the little ones go to sleep. You know, that's the time mommy can chill out and look at videos and so on. So those I have to make sure I'm occupied so that like right now after I'm done, I'm gonna go inside and you know, do some more um, putting things together and organizing my clothes and putting my shoes. And I gotta go to donate more clothes to the Goodwill. I was saying, yo, I donate like the best clothes. Listen, I purged my entire closet is empty. Listen, my entire closet is empty. Listen, I had stuff in there with tags on it. The Goodwill is gonna be so happy with those clothes. Just stuff I never wore. You know, I got it for an occasion, but saw something else better. And I'm grateful I can give it to somebody who can utilize it. You know what I mean? Because if I can't use it, why am I hoarding it? You know, you look in a closet, it's like, oh, why am I hoarding this? So I gotta bring stuff to Goodwill today. So yes, y'all, this is my first day of my fast. You have the water bottle? I'm purging my entire closet's empty. I had so many sneakers. I'm such a New Yorker. I had sneakers because I used to dance. I had sneakers like of every color. So I had to get rid of some of the sneakers and put them away. So it's interesting. See how calm I am? It's kind of eerie how calm I get when I fast. You'll notice that during my fast. People say, well, wow, you could tell when I'm fasting because I'm calm. Calm. Now, my mate, someone asked about how my mate feels about fasting. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Like my mate, he isn't happy with this fast. Definitely not happy with the 100 days. Um, he is happy with how I look. He is happy with my demeanor. He is happy with my personality. He sees it unnecessary for me to fast, as he thinks that I'm already. He already sees me as already in that alignment. That what he thinks I'm seeking. He says it's not that. I'm just doing my reset. You know what I mean? I reset. So he supports it. You know, he's supportive. Like he isn't one to go and get like, you know, food or smoothies or anything. He's very cognizant of that. Very gentle with me as far as he knows visually what things, and you know, he makes sure like if there's certain things that are made or so, and it isn't around me. But he isn't a fan of this one. Okay. Last one, he was okay. He didn't like when it got to the end because I was getting really, you guys couldn't see it, but I got really small at the end. So he wasn't a fan of that. Like after the 30-day fast, he was like, okay, it's done. Like I remember the last day, he was like, okay, yo, it's done. Because last time, I think I told you, like I had the whole twin flame thing, and I was fasting, and I didn't know if I want to mate with him. But yeah, um, yeah, he came around that time, so it was cool. Summary comments. So yeah, I'm just reading comments. I like quiet when I fast. Everything gets louder when you fast. That's another thing with fasting. Anyone who knows that is that your everything mutes your sound and everything. Everything mutes sound. Am I gonna get pregnant? I was already pregnant. If I get pregnant again, I'm gonna have a lot more children. I'm good. It wouldn't be intended. But if it's, I always welcome any baby that's coming through my womb that's healthy, I welcome. Any healthy baby coming through my womb, I welcome. But it isn't my intention. Yeah, I've had my babies. I'm grateful. I've had the babies that I wanted. Um, yeah, the discipline, the discipline has only come with time. It's only come with time. I've had moments where I had to gain that discipline. You know what I mean? It really it gives you that. It gets you in that alignment. So it it cultivates your discipline, and that's what's wonderful about it. Um, but it's just a humbling thing. Like it's just humbling when you fast. Like I said, I think the last fast at the 21st day, uh, at the 21st day, I started crying. Oh my gosh, I was crying and I was sad, and I just, oh my gosh, it was like, I guess whatever was inside me, when I got to that pinnacle point, when I got to that level of the fast, when it was totally, hey, when I got to the level of the fast, like 21 days, is when those things inside of me that I was unrealizing, because I guess it's shed. Because remember, you have layers of whatever's inside of you, layers of pain or sadness or things that you didn't deal with, things that you didn't even know you had. They're inside of you stored, and as you shed and you clear and you purge, then it comes up and it's at that layer. And once it was released, I cried. I was like, oh my gosh. And there was a point, like, what was it, 22nd day? I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it. Like, I kept saying to myself, I was just I cried. I mean, I was like bawling, like, like purple rain bawling. Like things, things you mask, things you hide from yourself. It's like going into that chest that you didn't realize that you put away in there to hide some stuff that you didn't realize that you had to hide. And then you go into that chest and you're like, oh snap. You seeing all the bones, you know what I mean, popping out. It's like, oh snap, I got bones. I had bones in my chest. That's how it felt. And then after the 22nd day, I was fine. It was the 21st and the 22nd day that I hit that pinnacle point. And remember, after the 30-day fast, I was on my way to Brazil. And I was able to free my ancestors from the etheric prison, my grandmothers, from their etheric prison in Brazil. So when I went to Brazil, it was in alignment. Remember, I couldn't get to Brazil before then. Like I was just not feeling it. And then when I went to Brazil, when I finished my 30-day fast, I booked that flight to Brazil. Everything was in alignment. So that's what I'm saying. This is a pre-PoleShift fast, because the things that I need to do, I'll be able to do. Oh wait, hold on, family. Hold on. Hey, what's up? Can you hear me? Oh wait, hold on. Let me put my earphones on. Now I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, I hear you. Where you going? Nothing. Where you going? Hey, boo-boo. Hold on one second. So, y'all, I'm going to go. I'm going to talk on the phone. Hold on. I'm talking on two things right now. I'm going to go. I'm going to talk on the phone to the yardie. You call yourself a yardie? Are you a yardie? Are you American yet? Are you American? Are you a Yankee or are you a yardie? You're an alien? That sounds about right. All right, y'all. I'll let y'all go. Take care. And you'll see me on the next 100 days. All right. Peace.